how to be good, nurturing, loving parents, because they had never received anything like that, because we had a state, a government, that took them away far too often into horrible abuse. So when we look at the challenges facing First Nations communities across the country, we know that that's a piece of it, a big piece of it. But at the same time, I see increasingly numbers of strong First Nations advocates and activists, young professionals, lawyers, young entrepreneurs, people who've managed to thrive despite very difficult conditions and are starting to take leadership roles within their communities and talking about facing head-on the big challenges that a failed system has laid on those communities. I mean, we have people living in this country in situations that you would expect to find in sub-Saharan Africa, in malnourished and terrible parts of the world. And it's something we absolutely have to address. And for me, the Idle No More movement that we've seen come up over the past year is, for some politicians it represents a big challenge. For me, it actually represents a big opportunity. Because what you have, similar to the Occupy movement, similar to the student protesters that took to the streets in Montreal a couple of years ago over tuition, you have a challenge of taking a tremendous amount of energy generated by citizens, by young people specifically, and the challenge is to translate that into positive movement, positive outcomes. Because there's an awakening and an engagement that, for me, is source for tremendous optimism. So how we sit down and work together on a people-to-people basis with people in those communities to talk about how we build capacity, how we get better schools, how we understand that the future of this country, we talk about the aging population. We all know the baby boomers are heading towards retirement. There's a big demographic shift. There's not enough young people. Well, the fact is, in our First Nations communities, almost 50% of everyone living in those communities is under 25 years old. And how we make sure that those young people grow up with education and opportunities and hopes and dreams that they expect they're going to be able to fulfill is not just about their success, but it's about our collective success as a country. And it's not something we can simply continue to marginalize and push aside. It's something we have to deal with responsibly, fairly, openly, in terms of building for a balanced future, for how we use this land, and how we create a better future for the next generations to come. And it's a priority for me. Thank you very much for your question.